is 2024, and we are back with This Week in LaPorte County. Along with me is Mark Schreiber. Mark was on our first episode of This Week in LaPorte County 1 year ago, talking about the basketball tournament. The LaPorte Invitational coming up this weekend at the Civic Auditorium. It has really become a huge event on the ESPN family of networks. LaPorte gets to take center stage, and I know that there's a saying that I like to use. In 49 states, it's just basketball, but Indiana does it a little bit different.
and we do. So this will be the third year for the LaPorte Invitational. We're excited for it. Actually, this year there's a title sponsor. U.S. Steel will be the title sponsor. It was negotiated by our partners in the event, which are Paragon Marketing and LaPorte School. And we're excited to have it back. Like you said, the national attention that we're able to get from being on the ESPN networks, that's something that's immeasurable for the city of LaPorte, for LaPorte County. Visit Michigan City. LaPorte's very heavily involved because this is a way to get LaPorte County on the map in a very positive way. And LaPorte School, obviously being in our backyard, is a big part of that. They allow us to kind of tap into this world of national high school basketball. So we're excited. There are 11 teams coming. 9 of them are from what is now called the Nike EYBL Scholastic, which is what formerly was the NIBC. And then we also have 2 teams coming in for the ESPN Showcase on ESPN2. So we've got a lot of great teams, a lot of great talent. It's going to rev up to be a great weekend.
I know in the past we've talked about just the quality of players that come through. Just a couple of names that would be of note to some of those out there. Jalen Hood-Schifino, who had a very successful season last year in Bloomington and is now playing for the Los Angeles Lakers. Grady Dick is now a member of the Toronto Raptors. And Jarace Walker is a Indiana Pacer. I mean, these are players that have played in the LaPorte Invitational in the last 2 years that are now playing in the NBA. Not only are they playing in the NBA, I mean, their name was called during the draft. So
no, absolutely. I mean, these kids are legitimately 2 years away from the NBA. And a lot of them make big impacts at major college programs just next year. We've got 36 kids that will be coming into this tournament that are ranked in the top 150 of their class somewhere. And again, some people get caught up in whether this is high school basketball, prep basketball, academy basketball, whatever you want to call it. This is a tremendous showcase of talent, and you're not going to see better basketball. You're not going to see better players. Sometimes people also have the misconception that they just roll the ball out and it looks like the NBA All-Star game. Believe me, there's intensity. These teams play hard. They play incredible defense. There's nothing scored easily. If you could imagine putting these great athletes, like I said, many of them just one step away from playing major college basketball, condensing them all down onto a high school basketball floor, it's not easy to score. Right. But there is scoring because that's how athletic they are. But it is a very intense level of basketball. I always tell people, come just for the warm-ups. Watch these kids slam dunk, shooting their threes in the warm-ups. That's worth the price of admission. So pretty excited. There's 5 teams that are ranked nationally in the top 25 coming in. LaPorte, of course, we consider them the host school. They're ranked number 10. They're going to play 2 teams that are currently highly ranked. They're going to play number 4 Long Island Lutheran that's the very first game on Thursday. Also broadcast on ESPNU, so it'll be seen by a number of households. And then they'll come back. They play the last game of the tournament on Saturday, the 6th rather. They play Wasatch, who's ranked number 8 in the country. So LaPorte's got 2 marquee matchups in front of their home crowd, and we're excited. It's going to be a great atmosphere.
And again, let's real quick talk about the host school. LaPorte just improved to 9-1 this past week. As you mentioned, 10th in the nation. Coach Pat Holmes has the Lakers living up to their the reputation that they've built.
They're loaded, and they're all juniors for the most part. They've got a slew of junior guards that are all ranked nationally. They give them a lot of scoring ability, and then they've got a senior guard that's going to Clemson. They've got a big man that's 7 foot tall. They're the real deal, and they feel like this year, next year, they've got a really good window to maybe get back to that national championship that they won in 2017. So we're trying to really roll the carpet out for them. We're really pumping up the atmosphere. The first game they play, like I said, will be against Long Island Lutheran. The Michigan City High School Pep Band will be there to add to the atmosphere. Their last game, like I mentioned, is going to be against Wasatch, who's number 8. The New Prairie Pep Band's coming, so we're going to give it a full atmosphere approach. And on top of that, we're going to have great half times. We're going to have contests. Friday the 5th, we've got K9s in flight with the Frisbee dogs and everything going on. And we've just got a lot going on around the tournament that makes it really exciting for people to come. And it's affordable. We've got family packs out there that allow a family of 4 to come for $15 each. That's $5 or less per game to be able to come and watch this caliber of basketball. So we encourage people to come out. We've still got good seats available, but we do expect the days to sell out here. We really see a spike here between New Year's and the start of the tournament. So LaPorteCivicAuditorium.com. Jump on there. You get the full schedule. You'll get the ticket pricing and all the information there.
And we'll also have that information for you after we talk here. And we'd be remiss if we didn't note that the Slicers are going to break in the court Tuesday night, hosting Lowell, the Red Devils, a Slicer Red Devil matchup.
Right, yeah, and it's a little nostalgic from that standpoint that it is Red Devil Slicers, but it's not Michigan City Elston Red Devils. But we were excited. We've been trying to get a LaPorte game back at the Civic for some time, and it just worked out timing-wise with them having Lowell scheduled on the back half of their Christmas break. Not only that, but they just played Lowell at Slicer Gym as part of the LaPorte holiday tournament. And I don't think Lowell really, and of course then Lowell played that game plus 2 more games. I don't think Lowell was ultra excited to come back play another game in Slicer Gym.
Yeah.
So this gives it a little different slant, a little more excitement. And there's always that nostalgia in the community. I mean, it hasn't been the home floor of the Slicers since 1976, but it's still, to a lot of people, that's where the history is of LaPorte High School basketball, is at the LaPorte Civic Auditorium. And it's a beautiful historic venue. We've just had renovations done. For those of you that hated sitting in those old wooden seats, we put in brand new cushion seats over the summer. We have new HVAC, a lot of great improvements to the facility. And like I said, it's really going to set a great showcase for that. LaPorte game is going to be great, but this LaPorte Invitational is going to be really exciting too. The Civic shows really well on television. It really has that old school Hoosier feel.
Yeah. And we are into 2024, but 2023 was really a huge year for LaPorte County because not only the LaPorte Invitational, but also Michigan City becoming the host of a North Semi-State. The Wolves Den opening up to basically become the last game before Indy for 4 different teams in the IHSA tournament. So it's just, I know that you guys have also worked very hard with the LaPorte County Convention and Visitors Bureau, who is also a supporter of This Week in LaPorte County. But we've done a really good job in 2023 and keeping it up in 2024 of using basketball to bring people into LaPorte County.
Yeah, and there's no doubt about it. And not only to bring visitors in, but it just, like you said, it just puts you on the map a little bit more. And the Visitors Bureau is huge in that. They're a tremendous partner in the LaPorte Invitational. They help bring the teams in. Of course, again, I always say what's good for LaPorte's good for Michigan City, because when the teams come in, they're staying at Blue Chip. They practice over at Michigan City High School, and then, of course, play all the games and the main event happening over at the Civic. So it really is a county-wide project, and there's nobody better, especially when you're talking about tourism, to bring that all together than the Michigan City or the Visit Michigan City LaPorte and Jack Arnett and his team.
Yeah. Obviously, Mark is the superintendent of the Parks Department for the city of LaPorte. 2024 is here. You want to give us a quick preview of some things that we're going to be seeing over in the city of LaPorte?
Yeah, obviously we're in the winter months now, and people tend to think we take our naps at this time of year, but we really do have a lot going on between all the events going on at the Civic. We just finished a great holiday session where we had over 6 holiday events going on at the Civic, but we're packed right now with concerts and everything we're doing there. We've really found a nice niche with these tribute bands that are very popular right now, playing music from the 70s, 80s, 90s. We've had great crowds out for that, but we've also had original artists. We had Loverboy. We've had others coming through that have really added to the offerings that we're doing at the Civic. We also have an ice rink downtown in LaPorte right now. It's been a little difficult keeping it open when it's 58 degrees on Christmas, but the weather hasn't necessarily been our friend. But when we have been open, it's a nice opportunity for people to come to downtown LaPorte. Within the walking distance of that ice rink, there are over 12 places where you can get something to eat, a hot chocolate, an ice cream, whatever it might be. So it's a great opportunity to bring people into the downtown. And then the last weekend in January, we'll have our annual Winterfest. And whether it's playing softball in the snow or I feel a little silly even saying it, ice fishing, because we haven't quite seen any ice on the lakes yet.
Don't go ice fishing this week or next week.
No ice fishing just yet. But we have the ice fishing derby. We have a scavenger hunt. We have events for the family. We have all kinds of things. We work with the LaPorte County Parks, usually on an event or two. So there'll be a lot of offerings for Winterfest again, and that'll be the last weekend of January. And then, we'll be gearing up again for spring and summer for youth baseball, youth softball. Sign-ups will be the third week of January, rolling all the way through the spring. And we've just got a lot of really great projects, things that we're really excited about. Trail projects continuing. We just had a great renovation along Clear Lake, and that project should be completed here Memorial Day. That added a loop trail around the lake and a nice plaza area adjacent to the amphitheater. We'll have other trail projects going on in Soldiers Memorial Park. I often kid, we didn't open our first multi-use trail until 2019, but we're rapidly catching up with everybody else across the state. And we understand that quality of life is really important, especially when people are deciding where they want to live, where they want to raise their families. And we know that the parks, our lakes, our trail system are a big part of quality of life. And so we've been continuing to build that. We're excited. Matter of fact, I just had a meeting last week to talk about pickleball and the explosion of pickleball. We've got courts in Kiwanis, or not in Kiwanis, but in Kessling Park. And I think you're going to see courts popping up in other portions of the county because, again, it's just a huge, huge thing. And it goes back to quality of life and things that people are looking for in the community in which they want to choose to live.
A couple years ago, Rich Leonard and his family introduced me to pickleball, and hey, I enjoy my pickleball, so I spent my fair share of time over at Kessling Park playing pickleball. But yes, as you said, it's becoming very popular, and I think we're going to see some more pickleball courts popping up around the county, which would be a good thing. But again, coming up this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at the Civic Auditorium, the LaPorte Invitational, sponsored by U.S. Steel. The schedule, we'll have that just after you see us here on This Week in LaPorte County. And you can also visit the Civic Auditorium, LaPorte Civic Auditorium.
LaPorteCivicAuditorium.com. You go right there. There'll be a button to click, but it'll pop right up for you. You'll have the schedule, ticket information, and again, tickets starting as low as $15 per person if you buy that family pack. Otherwise, there's balcony seats available for anywhere from $20 to $30. And again, that's an all-day pass, so you're going to see either 3 games, 4 games, whatever it may be. And we're excited. Like I said, the first day of games, we've got a game on ESPNU. The second 2 games will be on ESPN Plus streamed. The third day, the second game of the day is on ESPN2. That's the showcase game. And then we'll have the other game streamed on ESPN Plus. And then the third day, everything will be streamed on YouTube on the League Ready website. And we're excited. It's just a great weekend of basketball. And I think it's just a great weekend of fun. I think anybody that comes out will really not just enjoy the action on the field, but enjoy the atmosphere in the stands as well.
And again, keep your eyes peeled because you never know who's going to show up. I believe Coach Woodson was here last year.
He was, yeah. He made an appearance. You never know. There are still some kids out there that are not
uncommitted.
They're not committed yet. Yeah. So we do have some coaches popping in and out. We never really know until they show. But yeah, you definitely saw Coach Woodson last year. We've had coaches from other Division I programs over the first 2 years, so we expect to see it again in year number 3.
So if you happen to be out and about, even eating at a restaurant, you're not even there, keep your eyes peeled because you never know who you might see. Anyway, we want to thank you for watching. Mark, thank you for coming in.
Absolutely.
And giving us an update. But for This Week in LaPorte County, until next time, I'm Drew White.